you have LeBron with a high ankle sprain, and we know that can take quite a few weeks. So the Lakers are in the 3rd spot in the West, but 2.5 games ahead of the 6th spot. Stephen A., which team is under the most pressure to capitalize off LeBron and AD's absence right now and really gain some ground?
I would say the Los Angeles Clippers, but before I get into that, may I take a step back and give props to one of the greatest point guards the game of basketball has ever seen in CP3, who recorded his 10,000th assist last night. I mean, let's give props where it's due. It was against those Lakers without LeBron. We get all of that, and congratulations to him. One of the great, pure, quintessential point guards the game of basketball has ever seen. Having said all of that, I would answer the question directly by saying that the Los Angeles Clippers are the ones, as far as I'm concerned, who should have the most pressure. I know the Utah Jazz have been playing well, and we can get into the other teams as well, but here's the reality of the situation. There's another team in Los Angeles, a team that has Kawhi Leonard, a 2-time NBA champion and the 2-time NBA Finals MVP. I don't know how many times I got to harp on this before someone gravitates to what I'm saying. Kawhi Leonard owes us a matchup against LeBron James. You strolled into L.A., okay? You sat up there and demanded that the Los Angeles Clippers pay the farm, mortgage the farm, the house, and everything in between, okay, just so you can get Paul George. You got Paul George, who isn't playing shabby, by the way, is an all-star and is playing like an all-star. I know Kawhi Leonard's numbers are there. This is not about his numbers. This is about the willingness, not the ability, because I'm not questioning his ability, the willingness to lead, to galvanize, to maximize the potential surrounding you so you can take this organization to heights it has never seen before. I will remind you, Max Kellerman, as a man that lived in Los Angeles, I believe it was for 6 years.
Correct.
That's what you said, right?
Correct.
You hosted Max. You know,
I was the
Max
voice of Los Angeles.
The voice of Los Angeles, Max and Marcellus, even though John Island.
Settle down.
Oh, yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is this.
Guy.
He's a great guy. Max and Marcellus,
Mason
you had your radio show, Mason too. You had your radio show in L.A. The bottom line is this. You know this. The Clippers have never even been to the conference finals. Never even been, let alone NBA finals.
In their history.
In their history. Okay, now guess what?
True.
So I have a situation where it's Kawhi with Paul George, okay? You got enough of a crew there. They'll probably make a move before the trading deadline expires because they need a point guard, which is a discussion we'll have a little bit later on in the show, all right? Because several teams need a point guard, and we understand all of that. But here's the reality. It's on Kawhi Leonard. And if LeBron, I ain't worried about LeBron. LeBron will be back. He'll be ready to go come playoff time. It's probably not as bad as they're saying it is just because they want to give him additional rest because he won't take it on his own because he only missed 1 game this season up to this point. The bottom line is this. The opportunity is there because remember, I am anticipating, just for the record, I am anticipating, ladies and gentlemen, that there will be fans in attendance come June and July at least 50% capacity. That's what I'm assuming, considering the news that the president has disseminated in terms of 100 million people getting the vaccine and tens of millions additionally expected to receive the vaccine by June. I believe that combined with NBA players, because we had the Atlanta Hawks, we had the New Orleans Pelicans take their vaccine shots. I think you will see more people.
He said July 4th, independence of the vaccine. June is pretty close.
June is pretty close. I'm not talking 100% capacity, but I'm talking about it's not unreasonable to see 50 to 75% capacity at an NBA arena come playoff time. And so when I'm looking at it from that perspective, again, the Staples Center, with Kawhi against LeBron, do you have any idea how many people are looking forward to that? I'm number 1 on the list. I saw the crown dangling from the mirror with the New Balance commercials. I saw the LA sign up there when you driving in your convertible looking like you from Boys in the Hood. I saw all of that, okay? Now I want the matchup. And LeBron has given me every indication that he will be ready because he was ready. He was waiting in the conference finals last year, Max. He was waiting, and the Clippers didn't show up. Well, guess what? I'm looking for it now. I don't give a damn. Ty Lue can coach, all right? Ty Lue can coach. Paul George can play. Kawhi Leonard is a superstar. His numbers validate that. Where's the matchup? That's what I want to see. That's where the pressure should lie.
Done?
Yes.
Everything you just said is true. There's no lies detected in anything you just said. And yet,
I'm not a liar.
And yet, it's not the whole truth, is it, Stephen A.
I believe it is.
Because you're not fooling anybody, at least not at this desk.
Okay.
You need Lakers Clippers because you get to go out to L.A.
Yeah, that's true.
And the travel is from Staples to Staples.
Well,
you're not going anywhere.
I mean,
you're just spending the whole Western Conference in L.A.
That is an angle that I can't deny.
That's right.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, well, of course not.
That's right.
Who you got caught red-handed? Fingerprints all over.
I will say this little nugget of facts for you. I'm going to be in L.A. anyway.
But you don't have to get on a plane.
I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be there anyway.
You don't have to fly to Utah or anything like that. You stay right in L.A. Now,
that is true.
Now, let me just say, it's a perfectly good argument. Lakers, Clippers, I used to tease Clippers fans on L.A. radio. They're going to hang another first-round banner because they've never been out of the second round, even with Blake and DeAndre and CP3 and now everybody.
Yep.
But hold on, let's slow down. Let's pump the brakes with Kawhi must do this and that. He is a two-time Finals MVP. Not a one-time, a two-time Finals MVP.
Yes.
With two different teams.
Yes.
And Stephen A., you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Okay.
You can lead Paul George to the playoffs, but you can't make him not hit the side of the backboard in a Game 7 in the fourth quarter. Like, Kawhi was magnificent in the playoffs up until Game 7. He had a bad Game 7 against the Nuggets. But he was magnificent until then, as always. Paul George was not. And that's the problem. I can't put this all on Kawhi and then say it's the Clippers. You know who is under the most pressure to capitalize off this? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Jazz have been the best team in basketball for parts of this year. Jokic.
For parts of this year.
Jokic has a good argument for MVP. He's the best
does.
offensive player in the league. The Suns were 8-0 in the bubble. They added CP3. They look like a threat. The Mavs are rounding into form. The answer is the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
The same reason I said Lillard is a real sleeper for MVP the other day. If LeBron doesn't get it, if he's out for an extended period of time, you sat up here on TV, apologized to Damian Lillard. We're not going to ignore it anymore.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
But we also can't ignore the pressure on a guy who sees himself as a champion, who we all smell it on. Like, before he's done, that dude's going to win a chip. Who didn't go ring chasing, who stayed right where he was, who carried his team on his shoulders through injury. No McCollum, the whole thing in the first half. McCollum's back now. He's got time to play himself into real, like, C.J. McCollum level shape.
I mean, he's already balling.
And yeah,
he's already balling. CJ special.
And Nurkic should be back. The point is, what happened when Michael Jordan left the league for a couple of years? What we saw was, here's a parallel universe. Hakeem Olajuwon's the man. If it wasn't Jordan, whose era would be? Hakeem. Jordan was gone 2 years. Hakeem won 2. Jordan came back. That was the end of that. If there's a window right now in the Western Conference, because LeBron is out for an extended period of time, AD maybe isn't the same because of injury, that story, if that plays out, I'm looking at all these different teams, but none more than Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. This is his time.
I will tell you this. I think it's his time when it comes to, I think this is the best shot Damian Lillard has of capturing league MVP honors. I'll give you that. I definitely think that if he continues to ascend the way that he has been, with LeBron being out, with Kyrie balling, alongside James Harden and Embiid being out, I think this is a perfect opportunity for Damian Lillard to step into the fray and literally claim league MVP honors. I think that's definitely possible. But in terms of the pressure, I don't believe the pressure is on Portland nearly as much as the Clippers. I think that when you consider the fact that they've been injured, yeah, you come back and you look at them. Nurkic don't play defense. I love him offensively, but defensively, it's just not there. C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard, we know that they're an elite backcourt in the game of basketball, but you still wonder about some of the parts surrounding them because there's not enough basketballs, and we're adding Covington, still Carmelo there, etc. My issue with Portland, and I don't want to listen. I'm not advocating nobody be fired or anything like that. I like Terry Stotts as a person. There's something missing. And here's why.
Third star.
Let me tell you what I think about Terry Stotts. I think that he's the kind of guy that knows the X's and O's. There's no question about it. He's going to have his team prepared. But something, that element, that ingredient, Max, where you just have the ability as a coach to peel something out of people.
Doc Rivers.
And then, you don't even have to say Doc Rivers. It could be anybody. At some point in time or another, even though we've seen it from Rick Carlisle, we've seen it from Pop. We've seen it from Doc. Hell, Jeff Van Gundy never won a championship, but we've seen it from him. Stan Van Gundy hasn't won a title, but we've seen it from him. I mean, it's not about the titles. There's just something about Terry Stotts that that's all you can say. It's like, he's good, it's there, but you look at the talent that they got around him, and you just feel like there's something starving for, all right, they need something to peel. You just look at Portland, and you just see something a little extra.
I'll just say,
that ain't coming out.
Let's wrap it up here.